Hi students, this is Anthony from Bharatyasanar Matriculation Higher Secondary School. I am very happy to meet you in this video session. I hope you are in the pink of health as I am on cloud 9 to meet you all in this class. Today I am going to teach you 12th standard unit 1 poem titled as The Castle. The title of the poem is The Castle. Before entering into the topic, let me ask you certain questions. Kalayarasan, have you ever visited any fort? Soumya, have you ever visited any fort in your life? Yes, your answer is correct. We have got a fort in Senji. Next, we have got a fort in Chennai, where our secretariat is situated. The castle, meaning for the term castle, a huge building, it's a huge building, consists of high wall, thick gate and full tight security. Namely, this is used for royal residence of the king those days in order to be away from, to be protected from enemies. They built a high wall, thick gate and so on and so on. This just to protect themselves from enemies, from the attack of the enemies. So, castle, the term castle refers to a vast high building surrounded by high walls, thick gate. This is what we can call it as a castle. In Tamil, we will say it's a kottai. That's a term that is used in the synonymous for the word castle. It can be said as a fort or citadel. This all the word gives the same meaning. Yes, my dear students, whatever the answer that you have set, we have got a fort at Senji. Next, we have got a fort at Chennai. Next, we have got a fort at New Delhi. These are the things which is being discussed in this classroom. Next, the theme of the very theme of this poem, loss of life, betrayal, disloyalty and the life. This is what we are going to see in this poem. The unspecified battle that took place in the castle. How it took place? How the strong, mighty castle come down or defeated or overthrown by the enemies. That's what we are going to see. Students, we have got totally we have got 6 stanzas in this poem. Each stanza has got 5 lines. The first three stanzas talks about the mighty, comfortable, physical appearance of the castle. The next 3 stanzas talks about the fall, the destruction of the castle. This is what we will call it as the theme, or we can say the construction, the formation of the poem. Next, I would like to say the whole poem is written in allegory. It is written in allegory. The poet has got some ideas in his mind. Those ideas he brings out in a story, just to show to the people, namely some of the moral virtues. In this poem, through this poem, we are going to learn some hidden message, moral values for our life. That will come at the end of the poem. At the end of the poem, I will tell you. Next, as I told you, the theme of the poem is unspecified battle. Unspecified battle. This is what we can see as a castle. Some of the pictures that I have shown here. Dear students, this poem, The Castle, as written by Edwin Muir, has got 6 stanzas. Each stanza consists of 5 lines. This is the construction, the formation, the structure of the poem. So, 6 stanza. Soumya, can you understand how many stanzas are there? 6 stanza. Each stanza has got how many lines? It has got 5 lines. Okay, this is the construction or the formation of the poem. That's The Castle, written by Edwin Muir. Now, let us move to the author to study about this great man, Edwin Muir. We always say Edwin Muir, a Scottish novelist. A Scottish novelist. He is a poet, he is a critic. He is a poet, he is a critic, plus he has translated many of his books. I just want to tell you from his personal life. At the age of 14, he lost everybody in the family. He lost his dear and near ones. Father, mother, brothers, everybody lost it. Then, in order to survive in the world, he went to work in a factory. Just imagine, from the age of 14, to survive in the world, to feed for himself, he went to the factory and he worked. From the age of 30 only, we can see he flourished. Slowly started to write poems from the age of 13. All his poems will consist of the pain, the suffering, and all the mental torture that he went throughout his career. That is what is explained in the poem. So, we can clearly see he is a director at the British Council. He is a director at the British Council. About the author, Edwin Muir was remembered for his vivid poetry. What do you mean by the vivid? Vivid means clear. The word vivid means it refers to clear. So, the poet is very clear about his writings. Next, he began writing poetry at a relatively old age, as I informed you earlier. After crossing 13, he started writing his poems. Over the course of several years, worked out an individual philosophical style for which he gained recognition later in his life. Really, all his poem has got a philosophical touch. Namely, the pain, the suffering, and the man, whatever he faces in his life, everything is just given in his poems. The first and the chorus of the Newly Dead contains Muir's initial attempts. Muir's later collection includes variation on the time, theme, the narrow place, the voyage, and other poems, the Lady Nine, and other food in the Eden. So these are the some of the poems written by Edwin Muir. Students, now I am going to explain to you the first stanza, the very first stanza. The Castle, Edwin Muir. We have studied what is the meaning for the term castle. Next, who is Edwin Muir. Now let me go through the poem. All through that summer at ease we lay, and daily from the turret wall we watched the movers in the hay, and the enemy half a mile away, they seemed no threat to us at all. Students, here we have to understand very clearly, all through that summer. Remember here, there can be question asked here, appreciation question. What is the season mentioned in the very first line? The season is summer. All, what do you mean by the word all? All refers to all the soldiers. Even the narrator is one of the soldiers inside the castle. All through the summer at ease. What do you mean by the word ease? Comfortable. It refers to comfortable, relaxed, stress free. So, ease, we are relaxed, we are comfortable, and we are stress free. We lay, we take rest. It refers to rest. And daily from the turret wall. Daily, what do you mean by the word daily? Daily refers to every day. It is a routine work for us. As you come to school every day, it is a routine work. Every day we get up at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. We do our personal work. So, this is the work of the soldiers. And daily from the turret wall. What do you mean by the word turret wall? See here, I have given the meaning here. A small tower on the top of the castle. A small tower on the top of the castle. A small tower. This is the turret. This is the turret. A small wall on the top of the castle. See, from what we do every day, we get up. From the turret wall on the top of the castle, we sit there. We sit there. What we are doing? And we watched the movers. Who are the movers? See the term here. People who trim grass and level the lawns. What do you mean by the word lawn? Lawn is a greenish place. Pasumayana pultharai. Pasumayana pultharai. We call it as lawns. Do you have any lawns in your house? Have you ever seen a lawn? Yes, Rahul, have you seen it? Yes, sir. Where did you see it? Okay, in some of the houses. My house, yes, really, you have got a lawn in your house? It's very wonderful, beautiful. See, early morning, just get up, come out of your house and see how pleasant it is to enjoy the nature. So, movers means people, those who cut or shape, people, those who trim means the word trim refers to those who give shape to the grass and level the lawns. Now, soldiers watch the movers in the hay. Those who are cutting the grass, they are watching, and the enemies half a mile. Remember here, half a miles away. The enemies are half a miles away from the castle. They seemed no threat at all. They refers to enemy. No threat. Threat means fear. It refers to fear. My dear students, the first 5 lines explains about the confident level of each soldier in the castle. They are relaxed. They are comfortable. They are stress free. Especially it is the season of summer. Next, and daily they sit there and watch all things what is happening there. They watch the movers and they can watch the enemies half a miles away from the castle. The enemies are not, it's not a threat at all. They are not afraid about the enemies, those who are just half a miles away from the castle. This is what we see in the first stanza. For your reference, I have given you the meaning of the words. Kindly go through it because it can be asked for the examination, especially in the appreciation question. They will ask you. So, Soumya, be careful to study this one. Rahul, be careful to study this one because this is repeated questions for us during the board examination. The castle, as I told you, it's a moving poem by captures the well-guarded castle. The soldiers of the castle were totally stress-free and relaxed. This is what I explained here. A small recap. They are totally stress-free and relaxed. They were confident of the castle physical strength. That's what we are going to see in the next stanza. What is the physical strength of the castle? That's what we will see in the next. Through the turrets, they were able to watch the movers and no enemy was found up to the distance of half a kilometer, and so they seemed no threat to the castle. This is what a small recap to the poem. They had plenty of weapons to protect themselves and large quantity of ration. The ration refers to food items. They have plenty in stock to take care of the well-being of the soldiers inside the castle. Turret wall. This is the turret wall. See here. I have shown in the picture, this is a turret wall where soldiers sit and watch the movements of the enemies as well as the movers from the castle. Here they sit and watch all through the summer at East Village and daily from the turret wall. This is the turret wall. Movers, where people work with the grass, where they shape as well as where they trim the grass, where they trim the grass. We watch the movers in the hay and the empty half a miles away. There seems no threat to us at all. Students, now we are going to start the second stanza. First stanza I have completed, second stanza, let us start the second stanza. For what we thought had to fear, with our arms and provenders load on load, our towering battlements tire on tire, and friendly allies drawing near, on every leaf summer road. On every leaf summer road. See, this is some of the meanings that I given here. Provender, provender means food. Food. Next, towering battlements, tall towers with opening to shoot the enemies, tall towers. Next, tire, one above the other, one above the other. Friendly allies, helpful or supporting nation and armed forces. This is what we are going to see in the second stanza. Second stanza. The soldiers stood one above the other on the towering, watching to shoot the enemy at the sight. One above the other. One above the other. Tire on tire. It refers to one above the other. The soldiers stood. Towering battlement. Tall towers with opening to shoot. Tall tower. This is what we can call it. We can call it as a tall tower. Opening. Opening. This is the opening, where they can shoot the enemy, they can hide themselves and shoot the enemies. And friendly allies, armed force, this is what we call it as a armed force. The friendly allies are nearby. So, our towering battlements, tire on tire, and friendly allies drawing near, on every leaf summer road. This is what. Now we will see the physical appearance of the castle. Our gates were strong. Our gates, the castle gates were strong. Our walls were thick. Our walls were thick. It refers to the strength of the gates. The walls were thick. So smooth high, no man could enter. Dear students, today most of the houses, they built a wall around the houses in order to protect themselves from the enemies, from the thief. Now we see, just imagine those days, the castle, in order to protect themselves, the emperor or the king, they built gates were strong. They built a wall around the gate, around the castle, and the gates were strong. So smooth and high, no man can good win. That means refers to nobody. Nobody can enter inside because of the physical appearance of the wall. A foothold there, no clever trick can be done here. This is could take us dear or quick. Quick refers to, this is normally in modern English, quick means fast, move fast, quick we say. But in olden English, it refers to dead or alive. It means alive. It means alive. So, if anybody enters inside the castle, either he has to, they will kill him, or he has to remain alive. Only a bird could have got in. The bird, it has got no walls. The bird can fly anywhere, everywhere. Nobody can just arrest the movements of the birds. So, the physical appearance of the castle is very clearly shown here. See, our gates were very strong. See the strength of the gate, the castle. So strong, our walls were thick, so smooth and high, no man could get inside. Next time. Even by a trick, no man could enter the castle, but a bird could enter. You cannot do any kind of trick, okay, a foul play to enter inside the castle. This is what. Next. Students, next we are going to see the next stanza. What could they offer us for a bait? Our captain was brave and we were true. There was a little private gate, a little wicket gate. The Visan warder let them through. 3 stanzas we have completed. The confidence of the soldiers, the physical appearance of the castle, very well explained by the poet. Now, the next 3 stanzas we are going to see how the mighty, strong castle came down. How it was just defeated. That's what we are going to see in the next 3 stanzas. What could they offer us for bait? Bait means something intended to entice someone to do something wicked, evil or morally wrong. Wicket gate, a small gate, and the Visan old man. The Visan old man. Next. Even by a trick, no man could birds could enter. The enemy could not use a bait for their entry inside the gate, inside the castle. But there was a wicket gate guarded by a wicked guard. Listen here. The word bait. I just want to explain the word bait. Practically, let us talk. When we go for fishing, bait means in Tamil, puri. We call it as a puri. When we go for fishing, usually we take a rod, a long rod. At the end of the rod, we will keep a small worm in order to catch fish. We give something to get something. What we give? We give a worm in order to catch fish. That's what we call it as a bait. Here, the enemy could not use a bait for the entry inside the castle. That's a no one can bribe us. Okay, ba? We will never surrender to any of the trick done by the enemies. We are not surrendered. We are not attracted towards the worldly things. So nothing can be used as a bait for us. But there was a wicket gate. As I told, wicket gate means a small gate. It refers to a small gate. They believed that the castle was absolutely safe because the captain was brave and the soldiers were loyal. Loyal, the word loyal refers to the captain was brave. What do you mean by the word brave? Courageous, dhairiyam, dhairiyakaran, courageous. We were loyal. Yes, we were sincere towards him. Our captain was very courageous. So, not to show our willingness to work with him, we were very sincere with our captain. See here, the captain was brave and the soldiers we were loyal to him. We were very sincere to him. Next, there was a little private gate, a little wicket gate. The Visan warder let them through. This is what we see, how the mighty, strong castle came down. How the poet slowly reveals the unspecified battle. Wicket, a little wicket means it refers to evil. Here the wicket refers to small. A wicket, evil, bad, ugly. Next, wicket, a small gate, refers to small gate. See, this is what? A small gate, where we refers to. Visan warder means refers to a guard. As we call it in the jail, namely in the prison, jail they use the term warden. water. Here refers to a old god. It refers to a old god. He let in the enemies inside the famous citadel that had been known for its secret galleries and intricate path. This is we will see how the enemies entered inside the castle. Who let the enemies inside the castle? That's what we are, the wizened warder, an aged warder, let the enemies inside the castle. A secret path. A secret path, a tunnel. This is a secret path. Next stanza, we will see, we will start the next stanza. Oh, then our maze of tunneled stone grew thin and treacherous as air. The cause was lost without the ground. The famous citadel overthrown and all its secret galleries bare. Remember here, these are the glossaries. The meaning for those new words that we are going to learn. Students, you have to learn these new words because it will help you to communicate with all the students, all the people more effectively. Your communication become more effective with all the people whomever you meet. See, maze. What do you mean by the word maze? A winding, intricate, confusing path. Confusing. Okay, it's a more tunnel, confusing, complicating. We can use the word complicating also. Next, treacherous, disloyal. This refers to disloyal. Groan, lament, cry. Pulambal, we will say in Tamil as a pulambal, cry. Citadel, as I told in the beginning of the class, the term castle, citadel and fort are synonymous. They give same meaning. A safe and strong fort. Overthrown, conquered, defeated, conquered and defeated. These are the new words that we are going to see in this poem. Our maze of eternal stone grew thin and treacherous as air. This is what we will see here now. The cause was lost without the ground. What is the cause? We protected the castle. We were confident that nobody can enter inside. Nobody could defeat us because we had plenty of food. Plus arms also, weapons we had. Then also we were defeated. Okay, that's a cause. We were defeated without a groan. What's a groan? Without a cry. Without a lamentation. We lost it. The famous citadel was overthrown. What do you mean by the overthrown? Defeated. Our castle was defeated. How it is possible? Though we had everything in our hands, we were confident. But everything was lost. We were overthrown. The term overthrown means defeated. Next, and all secret galleries were bare. What do you mean by the word bare? Empty. The enemies took away everything. They took away all the valuables. It can be gold, it can be money, whatever. We protected everything. They took away. That's why the galleries were bare. Bare refers to empty. Everything is empty. Oh, then our maze of eternal stone grew thin and treacherous as air. Maze, as I told you, the word maze refers to intricate or confusing path, complicating ways. Now, we were disloyal and grew thin and disloyal as air. It shows the nature of the soldiers. The strong castle became weak and thin because of the greedy, disloyal warder. What do you mean by the term greedy? Perasai. Greediness. In this poem, the wizened old man was greedy about money, gold. That's what we lost it. So, the greedy, disloyal warder. The citadel was captured by the enemies for gold. So, we lost our castle without any fight. We did not use our weapons. Though we had plenty, but we did not use our weapons. But there was only one man, the greedy man. Because of his greediness, we lost everything. We lost our battle. We lost our castle. We lost our all the valuables. See, the citadel was captured by the enemies for gold. The term citadel refers to the castle. Students, this is what we are going to learn as the last stanza. How can this shameful tale be told? I will maintain until my death. We could do nothing being sold. Our only enemy was gold. Our only enemy was money. Our only enemy was all the valuables. And we had no arms to fight with it. We had no arms to fight with it. Students, the last line, the poet tried to give the theme of the poem. The unspecified battle, or the hidden message what he is going to give to the student, to the readers. The moral values what he is going to give to the readers. This is what we will see here. How can this shameful story, am I ready to share with my friends this shameful story? It is a very awkward tale, story. The term, it refers to story, tale. Be told. Am I not ashamed of telling this story to anyone? I will maintain. I will maintain. Here, maintain means belief. I will keep it in myself. I will never reveal to anybody. I will never reveal this secret to anybody. Because it's a shameful act. The disloyalty of the greedy warden. How can I go and tell someone what has happened inside the castle? Until my death, I will never reveal these things to anybody, because it's a very shameful. We could do nothing be sold. Our only enemy was gold. Our only enemy was gold, that we cannot defeat it. We had no weapon to fight with gold. We had no weapon to fight with greediness. So, gold. The main, you can get a question from the appreciation. Okay, well, from the appreciation, what was the only enemy in the poem? The only answer is gold. Gold was the only the enemy. And we had no arms to fight. In the beginning, first stanza, I said, we had loads and loads of provender and arms, weapons. But here at last he says, we had nothing to fight here. Our weapons were nothing in front of gold. Our weapons are nothing in front of the greediness of the old warden. This is what we will see. He was helpless and wondered how he would keep this truth to himself. It is very shameful to say this act to anybody. He regretted, he just felt sorry. What do you mean by the word regretted? Feeling sorry for one's action. Here, he felt sorry not finding any weapon to fight with the enemy called gold. There is no weapon. Though we had plenty of weapons, but nothing would fight against the gold. The narrator lamented over the disloyalty of the useless warder, and so decided not to disclose this shameful story to anyone. What is the enemy? Gold is their only enemy. The strong castle became weak and thin because of the greedy, disloyal warder. Some of the slides I have put here for your reference, in order to get more knowledge from the poem. Some of the pictures I have displayed here. It will enrich your knowledge as you go through these slides. How can this shameful tale be told? I will maintain until my death. Until my death. Gold was their enemy. Can we fight with gold? This is the question I put before you. Students, in our house, we buy. Okay, one way or other we are attracted towards gold. Today, the rate of the gold is increasing day by day. People are depositing money on gold. Can you give answer for this question? Can we fight with gold? Do we have weapons to fight with gold? Sufficient weapons? Just imagine, though we are equipped with the latest weapons and so on, are we sufficient enough to fight with the gold? I don't know. The answer may differ. Students, the answer may differ from person to person. Next, coming to the end, the mighty castle was captured and it was defeated. Next, the theme of the poem is life. First he talks about the life, how comfortable they were, how easy they were, how relaxed they were. Next, he talks about love, disloyalty, above all, greediness of a vision water. My dear students, what is the learning outcome from the story? What we learn from the story? Sometimes we feel that we are comfortable. I have got everything. Why should I fear? Whom to fear? Sometimes we ask questions. Everything in my house, I have got it. I am living in a sophisticated life. Sometimes we feel we are confident about our life and so on and so on. But remember one thing. One way or other, with whom you are living, with whom you are having a kind of friendship, one way or other, your life can be pulled down as the castle came down, as the castle defeated because of the greedy warden. Be careful how to have a very good friendship with each and every one. A true friend only stands with you. Do not believe the people, those who work for greediness. Do not believe the people, those who show disloyalty. Always be positive in your life. Be positive. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Students, coming to the conclusion of the poem, as I told you, 6 stanzas, 3 stanzas talks about the strength, the physical appearance of the poem, of the castle. The next 3 stanzas talks about the destruction, the fall of the mighty castle. And the poet has used allegory in this poem. Number of figures of speech were used here. Now, with this video, I have attached study material, question bank as well as self-assessment test. Go through it, write everything in a notebook. Number of slides I have given for you for your clear understanding. I hope you all will write everything in the subject note as well as in the test note. Thank you very much. Thanks for kind listening. Thank you.
Hi, this is Nikita from 11th standard. I am studying in Bhartasana Matriculation Higher Secondary School. I can say Republic Day in 20 different languages. Let me start. Tamil, Kudiyarasu Dinam. Telugu, Ganatantra Dinam. Malayalam, Republic Dina Assumption. Hindi, Ganatantra Divas. Kannada, Praja Rajotsava. English, Republic Day. Urdu, Jumjuma Oriya. Punjabi, Ganatantara Divas. Gujarati, Ganatantra Divas. Marathi, Praja Rajotsava. Nepali, Ganatantra Divas. Malay, Hari Republic. Sinhala, Gana Rajotsava. Chinese, Gonghi Gauri. Dutch, Republic Day. Spanish, Jour de la République. French, Dia de la République. Japanese, Kyeongwon Hong Kong.